This case, y'all, it's not just tragic, it's downright chilling. The kind of story that sticks with you. Picture this, a young girl found dead behind a hospital, right there in the hospital's garden. Her throat slashed wide open, like something out of a horror flick. Now let me tell you, this case ain't gonna sit cold for long. Because the man who cracked it, he did it in a way not even the NYPD or LAPD could dream of. Took him days to find what investigators couldn't in months. And I need y'all, especially the ladies out there, to listen all the way through. There's a deep lesson here. One that could save lives. We start our story in South Bronx, New York City, a rough but tight-knit neighborhood where families try their best to get by. That's where Maria Lopez grew up, the youngest of 3 siblings, raised by her hard-working mother and strict but loving grandmother. Maria was a sweet girl. Bright. Kind. Everybody on the block knew her. Teachers loved her, neighbors adored her. She got good grades, helped her mom around the house, never caused trouble. But like many good girls in tough neighborhoods, life starts changing when high school hits. At 14, Maria met Raymond Ray Martinez. He was 24. Yeah. 10 years older. Ray was the kind of guy your mama warned you about. Slick. Charming. Always hanging around outside middle schools and high schools, acting like he belonged. He saw Maria one afternoon walking out of her 8th grade science class and started talking to her. She was just a kid, young, curious, and naive. And he fed her the oldest line in the book. I see something special in you, baby. I'ma marry you someday. And she believed him. Before long, Maria was sneaking out. Hanging around with Ray. Going on walks, staying out late. He controlled her, told her how to dress, who to talk to, what to say. Ray wasn't just some older guy chasing young girls. He was a predator. A manipulator. Known around the block for bad habits, stealing, fighting, smoking weed, popping pills, even spending time in and out of Rikers Island for petty crimes and assaults. He was toxic, but Maria, young as she was, didn't see it. Not yet. As she got older, she kept her grades up. She graduated and got accepted into a community college nursing program. Her dream? Becoming an RN and working in a local hospital. That had been her goal since she was a kid. Ray? He was stuck in the same cycle, in and out of jail, stealing, using, and manipulating. While Maria tried to grow, he pulled her back. Eventually, she started seeing through the lies. She stopped answering his calls. Focused on school. But every now and then, she'd give in to old feelings, meet up with him, talk, even try to help him change. But people like Ray don't change. They pretend they do. Then came 2014, the year it all went downhill fast. Ray, needing drug money, broke into his uncle's pawn shop and stole some electronics. His uncle pressed charges. Ray didn't care. He was arrested and sentenced to a year. While he was locked up, Maria kept moving forward. She was halfway through her nursing certification and doing clinical rotations. She barely thought about Ray anymore. But when Ray got out, he spiraled. Hard. He was broke, desperate, and in full withdrawal. One day, when he couldn't get money, he stormed into his grandmother's apartment, the same woman who raised him. He beat her nearly to death with a metal rod, stole her purse, and ran. Neighbors heard her screams. Cops came fast. She survived, barely, and pressed charges. Everyone in the building testified against him. Ray was sentenced to 5 years in prison. What Maria didn't know, or maybe didn't want to admit, was that the man she once loved was turning into a full-blown monster. And worse, he still wasn't done with her. The whole neighborhood was shaken after what Ray did to his own grandmother. That wasn't just some street fight, it was chaos. Cops locked down the block. He was arrested and sentenced to 5 years hard time. Everyone, including Maria, thought that chapter was finally over. And Maria? She wiped her hands clean of him. She had finally seen Ray for who he truly was, a broken man, addicted, dangerous, with no future. Like a lot of young girls, Maria used to think the bad boy was the man to chase, the one with tattoos, the criminal record, the guy always stirring up drama. But that was teenage fantasy. Now, in her early 20s, reality hit hard. She wasn't a kid anymore. By 22, Maria had matured. She'd seen enough. She realized that Ray had never given her a single good day. Always in trouble. Always disappearing. Always lying. Their relationship? Barely even one. It was distance, pain, and waiting, nothing more. So she moved on. Focused. Determined. Quietly erased him from her life and from her mind. While Ray was rotting in prison, Maria was building a future. She earned her nursing diploma. Started her clinical rotations. Eventually, she landed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a full-time job at St. Luke's Medical Center, one of the most respected private hospitals in Brooklyn. Great pay. Good benefits. Real respect. It was everything she had dreamed of. With steady income, she finally started planning her life. Her daily commute on public transit was a nightmare, so she saved up every dollar she could and bought herself a used Honda Civic. Not flashy, but clean. Reliable. Her little freedom machine. Maria had a routine now: work, home, rest, repeat. She was focused on her goals, keeping to herself, rebuilding her peace. Ray? Long gone. Forgotten. Or so she thought. Time passed fast. 5 years came and went. 2019. And just like that, Ray Martinez walked out of prison. Same neighborhood. Same streets. Same bitterness. But everything around him had changed, especially Maria. Now 32, she was a professional nurse, well-dressed, independent, driving her own car. She'd grown into herself, confident, beautiful, self-sufficient. Ray saw her one afternoon while walking near a corner store. She was getting into her car after a long shift. He froze. Watched. Obsessed. Damn, he muttered. She glowed up. In Ray's twisted mind, Maria wasn't just a former girlfriend, she was his. He saw her car. Her paycheck. Her smile. And all he could think was, that's my ticket back. That's my shot. He didn't see her success. He saw an opportunity. He followed her. Figured out where she worked. Learned her schedule. Waited outside the hospital one evening and approached her as she walked to her car. "Maria," he said, trying to sound warm. "Hey, it's me. I'm out. I've changed." Maria froze. Her heart dropped. "Ray? What the hell are you doing here?" "I just wanted to talk. That's all. I've been thinking about you. All these years. I messed up, but I'm clean now. Let's start over. Please." But Maria didn't hesitate. "No. Absolutely not. Whatever we had is done. It's been done. Stay away from me, Ray." He smiled, pretending to accept it. But behind the smile, his mind was spiraling. She rejected him. After all they had. After 14 years of knowing her, after all he did for her, in his twisted logic, she owed him. He didn't take the hint. Ray started showing up. Again. And again. Waiting outside the hospital. Loitering near her apartment building. Calling from random numbers. Watching. He even got a hold of her new phone number. Maria blocked him, changed routes, started parking farther away from work, told security to keep an eye out. But he kept finding her. To Ray, Maria was a prize. A possession. And now, more than ever, he was convinced. If I can't have her, no one can. And Maria? She could feel something bad coming. Maria wanted nothing to do with Ray. She wasn't just over him, she was scared of him. This man had a history. Her family hated him. Everyone in the neighborhood knew who he was, a violent, unstable, unpredictable criminal. He had terrorized her back then, and she wasn't about to let him back in. He's not marriage material, she told herself. He won't take care of me. He'll ruin me. She feared what he could do if she let him back into her life. But Ray? Ray didn't know how to take no. One afternoon, Maria was walking through the old neighborhood. Kids playing on the corner. Some guys hanging by the bodega. Ray saw her. And right there, in front of everyone, he walked up and grabbed her wrist. "Maria," he said loudly. "I'm serious about you. I want to marry you. I'll come to your house, meet your parents, I'll do it right." Maria yanked her arm back. The look in her eyes? Disgust. Anger. Disbelief. "Get away from me," she snapped. "I don't want to get married. Especially not to you. Stay out of my life." Everyone heard. People turned and stared. Ray stood frozen, humiliated. That moment, right there, cracked something inside him. Maria went home that night and told her parents everything. They were furious. "Absolutely not," her father said. "That man is dangerous. Don't you dare speak to him again." Maria agreed. That was it. Ray was blocked on her phone. She avoided the streets he hung around. She made herself invisible to him. But Ray? He never stopped watching. He followed her. Learned her routine. Knew what she wore, where she ate, what time she left work. It became his full-time obsession. By the end of 2022, 2 years after getting out of prison, Ray hadn't changed a bit. Still jobless. Still angry. Still stuck in the past. And then it happened. September 2022. Ray heard something that pushed him over the edge. Maria was engaged. Not just to anyone, to a man with a steady job, a car, a house. A real man. A good man. The engagement was official. The rings had been exchanged. Families had met. The whole neighborhood knew. Ray snapped. 16 years, he told himself. 16 years wasted. And now she's marrying some stranger? In his twisted mind, Maria owed him her life. And now, he felt betrayed. Lied to. Replaced. He didn't want her anymore, he wanted revenge. September 26, 2022. Ray didn't sleep the night before. He sat in his room pacing, fuming, repeating the same sentence over and over. "If I can't have her, nobody will." At 2 a.m., he was already awake. Cold. focused, numb. That morning, he went straight to St. Luke's Medical Center, where Maria worked. He loitered outside for over an hour, waiting for a chance. No one questioned him. No one stopped him. Then, when no one was looking, he snuck in. He took the stairs to the second floor, where Maria's department was. Walked down the corridor. And there, like a scene from a nightmare, he saw her. He lunged, grabbed her by the arm and tried to drag her out. "Maria! Let's talk," he shouted. She screamed. "Get off me! Let go of me! Help!" A doctor nearby heard the commotion. Ran over. When he saw Ray pulling on Maria, he shoved him hard and called security. Ray tried to fight, shouting, pushing, but security tackled him, pinning him to the floor. Maria was shaking, in shock. She finished her shift in fear. That night, she asked security to walk her to her car. She called her father to meet her at home. Tears in her eyes, panic in her voice. "Dad, he came to my job. He tried to pull me out. If it wasn't for that doctor." Her father was livid. "Don't worry," he said. "He's done. He'll disappear. Let him rot. You're safe now." But Maria didn't feel safe. Not really. Because now she knew. Ray was capable of anything. "He's gone. You're safe now. Just forget about him." That's what her father told her that night. Maria wanted to believe it. But she couldn't. Not after what happened. Not after how close he got, how easily he found her. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, haunted by his face, his hands, his eyes. The next morning, September 27th, 2022. Maria woke up early, just like always. Made her coffee. Got dressed. Got in her car. Drove to work. But Ray? Ray was already outside the hospital again. This time, security stopped him at the door. "Not today," they said. "We saw the footage. We know what you did." They wouldn't let him through. So Ray changed tactics. He called her. And this time, she answered. Why? Because she was scared. Because a part of her thought, if I talk to him, maybe he'll leave me alone. Maybe I can reason with him. "Let's talk," she said over the phone. "Just talk. Then leave me alone for good." He told her he was nearby, outside Clinique Shifa, next to the large August 20th hospital. They agreed to meet. They started walking. Just walking. Around the hospital. Talking. But Maria didn't know that Ray had already made up his mind. He had seen the hospital garden. Big. Quiet. Empty. He saw a chance. If I do it there, he thought, no one will see me. I can run. I can disappear. They entered the hospital courtyard. Ray kept talking. Kept walking. Leading her to a more isolated spot. And then, he snapped. He pulled out a large knife. And he attacked her. He stabbed her. Once. Twice. Again. And again. Over 15 times. He aimed for her neck, slashing the artery. There was blood. So much blood. One man sitting nearby later told the press. I thought I heard something hit the ground. Like someone dropped their phone. But when I turned, I saw him. He was over her. Stabbing. Over and over. Maria didn't have a chance to scream. The blade had torn through her throat. She collapsed, her body still. Ray tried to run, but someone saw him. A bystander. He chased him. Security came running from inside. A crowd formed. People started yelling, surrounding him. And soon, they caught him. Held him to the ground. Paramedics rushed to Maria. Nurses came. Doctors. They tried to save her. But it was too late. The artery in her neck had been completely severed. She bled out. Right there. In the garden where she worked. The crowd stood in shock. In horror. In fury. How could he do this? In broad daylight? To her? Police arrived. Took Ray into custody. At the station, Ray started playing games. Acting unstable. Distant. Like he wasn't fully there. But when that didn't work, he started talking. "I've known her for 16 years, he told the detectives. "I spent over $15,000 on her. And she left me. For someone else. I had to do it." The police looked into it. But his story didn't hold. Ray was broke. He didn't have 15 cents, let alone 15 grand. His friends told the truth. He never supported her. He never worked. He spent every cent on drugs, alcohol, anything to numb his brain. He didn't kill Maria for money. He didn't kill her out of love. He killed her because he couldn't control her. And because she finally walked away. Ray didn't get the full sentence. They reduced it. Not because he deserved it, but because of legal loopholes, technicalities, and a desperate attempt from his lawyers to argue mental instability. But the police, they knew. They knew what kind of man he really was. They dug into his record, and it was endless. He had been in and out of prison for years. Assault. Theft. Threats. Drugs. Always slipping through the cracks. They reviewed the hospital security footage, not just from the day of the murder, but from the day before. And what they saw made their blood run cold. Ray had come the day before. He waited for her. He was ready to kill her then. But someone, interrupted. She was lucky, for one more day. The police now saw the full story. A man obsessed. A woman trying to live. And a system that didn't protect her. But that wasn't the end of it. After Maria was pronounced dead, her family came to claim her body. And they noticed something horrible. Her gold was gone. She had been wearing a necklace. A few rings. Bracelets, all gifts to herself. She worked hard for them. Saved for them. And now, they were missing. Someone stole her jewelry, after she died. A crowd had gathered. Dozens of people. And in the chaos, someone reached down and took them. Like vultures. The police never found the thief. But the witnesses confirmed. She was wearing gold. I saw it. But when the paramedics came, it was gone. Back at the station, Ray finally spoke the truth. All of it. There was no $15,000, he admitted. I never gave her anything. I just saw a woman who worked hard. And I thought I could live off her. That's all. He called her an opportunity. Not a human being. Not someone he loved. In court, the judge gave him a heavy sentence. The maximum allowed. But people still felt it wasn't enough. It wouldn't bring Maria back. The city mourned her. Her parents stood in silence. Her friends cried on the courthouse steps. And for those who followed the case online, they were left with one message. If you ever feel unsafe, don't wait. Don't give them another chance. Some people don't want love. They want control. And once you take it back, they'll try to take everything else.